Hey, this is your girl, Miss Jovial. Hope everybody is having a good evening. Before I get started, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that notification button at the bottom so when I create a video, you will be the first to know. Hello! I know y'all getting tired of me with this toxic workplace shorts, but I'm just out there to protect you, to help you know how critical it is for you to create your own income because you can't depend on none of these jobs, child. But let me tell you why I do what I do. Okay, maybe you'll get an understanding. In 2013, I was working at one of the record labels, and my mom called and said that she was diagnosed with breast cancer. So I immediately left my job because, honey, that's my mama. Okay, I love my mama. So I went back to Chicago. I was in New York at the time. So I went back to Chicago to make sure she was okay. And I was trying to find a job in Chicago. So my mom kept looking at me, but she wouldn't say anything. I said, Mommy, what's wrong? She said, No, nothing. I said, Are you hurting or anything? She's like, No, I'm just watching you. And then one day she just came to me. She said, Did you find a job here? I said, I can't find no job in Chicago. So she said, You know why? Because your ambitions does not lie here anymore. Your ambitions is not here in Chicago. It's in New York. Because I have a strong love for New York. So I was like, you know what? You might be right. Child, I got back to New York. I ended up landing a job at one of the big firms, right? So I'm nosy by nature. So don't be telling me stuff because if I overhear you talking about something that I'm interested in, I'm gonna be like, excuse me, can you share the information? That's just how I am, okay? So the group of ladies was standing there talking about their teaching class. They're teaching strategies, their classes, the students. And I was like, what they talking about? Because we working in a firm, right? A financial firm. So me being nosy, I stood up and said, excuse me, ladies. I said, what y'all talking about? So they were like, we're all teachers. We're all online teachers, and we teach English. Now remind y'all, this was back in 2015. Okay. Hun, they told me about VIPKid. I don't know if you all know about it, but VIPKid is a platform that you can teach English online. You have to have a 4-year degree, and you have to go through this intense training. And all of the students are out of Beijing, China, or Hong Kong. Okay, so it's based out of China, but they have an office in California now. But that was back then. So I was like, because my background is speech therapy. I used to do speech therapy for many years, child, in Chicago and New York. So they were telling me about it. So I said, I want to. They were like, Are you interested? I said, Yeah, I want to do it too. So they were like, We'll always have a second job. So I said, Oh, okay, because I was making decent money at the time. So I went to the training. Didn't know the training child was on Wall Street. Okay, Wall Street. So I went up the stairs and I went to the training, and I could not believe state of the art training, y'all. Everybody had laptops. If you wanted to use a Mac, you could do that, but it was very intense training. But it was fun. It was interactive. I was having a really good time, networking. And I realized that Kobe Bryant was one of the investors for VIPKid. And I was like, wow. So this is legit. Because I ain't know if it was legit or not. But I guess it was on Wall Street. I should have known, right? But anyway, so I went through the training, and they were like, when you get home, I want you to so what you had to do is a mock class in front of two of the people from China. So I was like, okay, because if you pass it, you become an online teacher, right? Honey, I hit that thing. Like, I got home, I opened up my laptop. I was so scared. Oh my God. So I called the people that were interviewing, and they were from Beijing, and we introduced each other, and they were like, okay, let's see the teaching technique. And I just, whatever I was taught in the workshop, I just did it, I did it my way, and I had a spin on it and stuff. And they were like, okay, well, and they had a straight face. Now, can you imagine that? They had a straight face when I was, when I was doing my teaching, my mock teaching. And I was sitting there, and they was like, okay, we'll get in contact with you later. Thank you. Man, my heart was beating out my head. Child. About an hour later, I got an email. Congratulations! I was like, yes! So I started teaching English online back in what? I think it was May 2015. I was so happy. But here's the thing. I never stopped teaching. So, as years went by, my salary started going up at the firm, and I started getting added responsibilities. I started off as a senior associate, and then I went into becoming a manager. And I'm still teaching, okay? not knowing how things work together. I'm telling you, let me tell y'all something about God. God will show you a lot of stuff. It may not make sense, but just go with the flow, okay? Because there's a method to the madness. Y'all know in Karate Kid, wash on, wash off with Danielson and Mr. Miyagi. Y'all remember that? Okay. So first 7 years was lovely at the job. Lovely. Do you hear me? Now we weren't perfect, right? But we got along with each other. That 8th year, it got a little rocky because we had a new person to come on. The 9th year, ooh, it got bad. I ain't gonna even lie to y'all. It got bad, child. That person came in there and changed the whole personality of the team, but I was still working that job. The 10th year came, unbearable. Just very one. It came in as a dictator, micromanaging, controlling. Every time you said something out of your mouth, it was wrong, and then she would cock her head. Like black girls do. We be like, what? She wasn't black, but she was like, all of that kind of stuff. That pissed me off. But you gotta have a certain professionalism about yourself when you at your job, right? So I was, and everything that came to my mouth, I didn't understand what you were saying. What were you doing? What did you do yesterday? What did you do today? Why you talk to him? Why you on that call? Why are you doing this report? All kind of stuff. Because I had been doing everything that I was doing. My team was aware of it. My lead was aware of it. But this woman come in and she just tore up the whole thing. And that's when I told y'all in my last videos, my blood pressure went through the roof. And I started having panic attacks, couldn't sleep at night. I know y'all know these signs because some of y'all are going through that right now. Those are signs it is time for you to change directions. Okay? It's time for you to change directions. It's scary. Sometimes you got to do what's scared. But here's the thing. Just like I'm telling you, I told myself, don't give up that second job. Don't give up that second job. There's a reason why you're there. Of course, I'm there for the kids, okay? Of course, I'm there because I love teaching, right? Of course, I like it because I work from home, right? But there was another reason for it. You understand? I didn't see it. I didn't see it years ago. I just say, okay, well, I got the job. It became routine for me because I was used to staying up all night on Friday nights and Saturday nights because those are the weekends. Those are where I put the most hours in, right? Child. It got so unbearable. I was just sitting here. I used to just sit in this room because this is my home office. I used to sit in the room like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I mean, I'm not sure if I have enough money in my checking account. My savings account to actually quit right now. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Conversations. You all are familiar with this, right? Then I started talking to God. I had been talking to God all along, but I was like, okay, God, you got to show me what to do because I can't keep going on like this. Y'all, it was painful. I'm not going to even lie to you. I used to get so sick opening the laptop. Do y'all know one time, and nobody knows this, but one time I was so stressed out that I opened up the laptop and just threw up because it was just killing my spirit. It was killing my spirit because I was silenced. Imagine being at a job where you're silenced. Everything that came out of your mouth wasn't good enough. It wasn't worth discussing. None of that. And y'all know I'm a talkative person. I knew I had to do something. I had to put my resources together. And I started watching a whole lot of videos. And I discovered digital marketing. So I kind of dipped and dabbed in it when I was, working. And I realized, I started doing like little videos on TikTok with, dancing, just having a little fun just to get away from that god awful job. I knew it was bad when my director left. And then they hired a new director, and that person let him go like less than 90 days. I knew it was getting sticky. And yeah. I had to put everything together. I had to say my prayers every chance that I got. And I was the day that I decided it was time for me to go. Because here's the thing, I had a lot riding on this. You understand? This was my job. This was a six-figure salary job, right? I just bought a house. My mom lives here. My man be here. I'm just like, what do you do? And I never had to depend on anybody. So I was like, oh my God. But they saw, my mom saw, she was like, well, why you looking like that? Something's not right with you. You know your mama be knowing something wrong with you. But I knew I had to do something. So I called my girlfriend who's in another country, right? Because she used to work for the same firm. And she called me that morning. She said, this is what you're going to do. And I'm going to be on the phone with you. So I had the letter of resignation, and I sent it to HR along with my old boss, because my old boss was the big boss. He was more global, because I work for a global company. And I sent it to him. And I said, I'm resigning. I'm moving on. And then I sent an email to each of the team members. Now I didn't want to put it in a big email. I don't even know why I did that, but I just felt like it would be better, because if people have questions for me, I can answer it one-on-one more so than in a group. So the US team is who I sent it to, because, I had a global team, but I got to them later on that night, because, when it's daytime in the United States, it's nighttime. I'm sorry. In the evening in the US, it's their morning time. So I reached out to them later that night, okay? And I told them what was going on. But anyway, going back to it. So the person, I finally sent that person the resignation letter. Oh, child. So where you going? A little bit of this, a little bit of that. See, I had been trained. Somebody taught me to do that. Don't tell them nothing. Them toxic bosses, don't tell them nothing about what you're going to do, where you're going to go. Now, if you go into the competition, you're supposed to tell them that, right? But I wasn't going to no competition. So she was really like, where are you going? When I tell y'all nasty, now I'm 56 years old, right? I don't like nobody talking to me crazy, because I don't talk to you crazy. Don't talk to me crazy. Where you going? I said, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Are you going because of your blood pressure? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? I don't know. Y'all don't know I want to grab my Vaseline. Lord Jesus. I had to keep counting. So yeah. So that's what I did. So she was like, so that person was like, well, you have to let HR know and blah 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 blah. I said, I already did that. Well, I didn't get an email. I said, because I didn't CC you. Why didn't you CC me? I'm the leader. I'm the leader. I'm the leader. I said, you ain't my leader. I said, my leader is the person that's global and HR. That's all that needs to know. I'm the leader. This is all during teams. I'm the leader, like a little kid. I said, okay. I said, the point is, it's done. Well, from this point on, you have everything directed to me. Do you understand? Who you talking to? I said, uh-huh. Because by this time, I'm counting up to 200,000, 400, 200,000. I'm going to say 200,000. I said, okay. So when it got close, so during those 2 weeks, it was like I had a sense of relief, but I was still, I was still trying to figure out what to do. You understand what I'm saying? Because I wasn't going to make the money that I was making. At least that's what I thought. So the day came. It was my last day, and then we had a team call. Oh, the team is going to miss you. I was like, oh God, really? And I was like, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I said, are you done? Yes, I'm done. Okay, bye. I closed the damn laptop and put it in a box and sent it back. I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for Listen, one thing about me, and I think I said it in all my videos, I do not do fake. I do not fake. You don't like me, I don't like you. I'm done. Right? That chapter over. Honey, soon as I was done, that's when the confetti came. And my man came in and threw confetti all over the place and said, I'm very proud of you. And I was excited. The relief just went crazy. Oh, y'all don't know the relief that I had. But let me tell you something. The first 3 months after that were really tough because I was used to getting up at a certain time. I was used to having a meeting at 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning. The first couple of months, you have to process what just happened. Because see, this is new to me. I don't know anything. Now, I stopped teaching for a while. You understand what I'm saying? And I did that because I had to actually process. Did I just quit my 6-figure tally job? Did I just give up the perks? Did I do this? Did I do that? But I wasn't feeling good. My spirit was so diseased. My spirit was like, what the heck is going on with you? I couldn't sleep at night. My whole point was I was sitting there and then I thought, why don't I just go out on my own and do something? This was like around the end of the third month, going into the fourth month. Now I've been away from corporate for 6 months. So come the fourth month, I was like, let me see what I could do. Let me figure this out. So you know what I did? I went back to my work. I got a workbook, right? I just put like little notes and stuff in. I went to a lot of workshops over the years. When people give me quotes, I just keep it. I just started getting like the little pieces of paper. I had so many pieces of paper all over the place. And I started putting it all together. And those pieces of paper and everything that I've learned for the 7 years when I was at that place, I turned it into the free 48-hour guide that I shared with you. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And after that, I found some more pieces of paper. And that's when I turned that into how to create your escape plan in 7 days. Because that's how long it took me to create mine. Because here's the thing. Although I walked away, I still had a side hustle, right? Which was online teaching. But when I started like really honing in on the things that I wanted to do, because I told y'all, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I like digital marketing and the possibilities. And I read on Forbes.com that digital marketing is expected to reach what actually is a multi-trillion-dollar business, and they expected to hit a multi-trillion dollars by 2026 or 27. I can't remember. And so I was like, oh, let me get into that, right? So that's what I'm doing right now. My whole point is this. I wanted to share that with you because that's what I do. Do not think that job is going to take care of you over a long period of time. Things happen all the time, okay? It's good that you got a job right now. It's good that you're making a steady income, but don't depend on it 100%. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Anything could happen. You got to have something to fall back on, okay? That's why I'm pushing y'all to really hone in on your skills. Everybody on this planet has something that other people would pay for. Let me say that again. Everybody on this planet has something that others will pay for. You don't need a degree. You don't need a high school education. If you're good at something, figure out how can I help someone? You understand? That's what I'm trying to get you to see. That's why I do what I do, and I'm going to keep doing it. I don't want anybody to go through what I went through. I mean, because the disrespect was so thick. I mean, this disrespect was thick. My light just went out. You know what I'm saying? So I want you all to be prepared because you don't know what's coming along. I don't even know what's coming in 2026, but here's what I do know. When I created that 7-day plan, I followed it and I started making money like maybe 2 weeks afterwards. Yeah, I went back to the online teaching and I immediately became an affiliate marketer for TikTok. and I focused on TikTok. And when I saw the first time I made money, I was like, oh my God, $1,700. How did I do that? You understand what I'm saying? Now, is it steady? No, it fluctuates between 12 to 1,500, 1,600 a month. You know what I'm saying? But I do other stuff as well. I'm doing all right. I just want to help you all. Do not get caught up with one job. And that's what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying? Do you understand? Really? The relief, I could sleep at night. The blood pressure went from 199 over 116 to 120 over 80. Glory! You understand? That's why I share this with you all. I don't ever want you to go through what I went through. A toxic workplace is real. It could take you out of here if you don't do anything about it. See, it's better to work on a side hustle while you're working. All right? I'm just here to help. That's all I'm here to do. You either take it or leave it. Like my grandmama said, and I always mess this up. You could take a horse to the water, but you can't make them drink it. That's all I have for today, folks. You all have a good evening and happy Thanksgiving. I wish you nothing but the best. Let's talk soon. Okay, bye.